Good morning to all my YouTube friends. I see other people have posted videos of themselves on YouTube, just telling your audience a little bit about yourself. So I thought, well, I would do the same thing. So I started playing the piano when I was about 7 years old, and that would have been in the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. And of course, at that time, all I could do was play by ear. And I managed to do very well because as long as I knew a tune in my head, and I seemed to be able to remember tunes, I could eventually play it on the piano and not too bad for somebody who was 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. I did pretty good. But once I got to be a little bit older, I kind of really liked, I had heard classical piano on the radio, the old battery-operated radio at that time, and I really liked some of the music that I heard. But of course, you can't learn to play that by ear. There are people in the world that are child prodigies or whatever you call them, but of course I was never that gifted. So I really wanted to learn how to read music. Well, at that time my older sister was already taking piano lessons, so my parents really couldn't afford to give both of us piano lessons. So one time I asked my mom if the next time we went into Edmonton was the closest big city to where I lived in rural Alberta, if I could buy a record, because I had heard a song, I knew what it was called, and she said, well, we'll see how much it costs and everything. So I did get the record. Well, I brought the record home, and at that time the only thing we had to play it on was a gramophone. That was one of those old big boxes that you cranked up, and you had to lift up the heavy, very heavy head and put it on the record. So that was great. I was quite happy with that. But then I thought, well, it's great to listen to, but I want to learn to read music. So there was one particular piece on there that I really liked, and it was called The Merry Peasant, The Happy Farmer. I think it was by Robert Schumann, but I'm not sure. Anyway, once again, I asked my mom, the next time we go into Edmonton, could I buy some sheet music? And she said, well, same thing, sure, go see if you can find it, let me know how much it is. And of course, the sheet music at that time was 50 cents. So I got the sheet music, and I was quite happy. So when I got home, I couldn't wait to crank up the gramophone, put the needle on the music that I wanted, and I had the sheet music, and I watched to see, how is this guy that's playing the music on the record, how is he playing all these dots and lines and these little tiny squares under the lines, and what do all these words mean in the diagrams? Well, I did that for a long time, and eventually, I'm going to say 2 years later, I could learn to read music fairly well. I still had a lot to learn, but I could read music, so at least I could go and buy some simple music, and I could read the notes. Well, my favorite, of course, back then, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, was the classical music. So mostly by notes, I just played classical music: Chopin, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Brahms, Schubert, Schumann, those kind of things. But and I was doing not bad. But it's only been in the last 4 or 5 years when I decided that I wanted to branch out into some other kinds of music. And of course, now I'm going to be 82 in a few months, and my fingers don't move quite as fast as they used to. So I can still manage to do some classical music, but nothing that challenging, let's say. But I wanted to learn different stuff, so I've learned things like Bohemian Rhapsody, for example, and other tunes that you'll see on my videos, which are a far stretch from the music that I was used to playing. So it's the best I can do, and I just hope everybody enjoys my channel. I've written a lot of music, but there again, I have no formal training whatsoever. So I decided to delve into trying to write some music. So some music for piano, some fiddle tunes, I think a string quartet, and a few other things. So I hope people enjoy my channel, and I have quite a few subscribers and followers. Anyway, that's about it. So that's all about me, and keep watching my channel.